Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse.
It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
The best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse.
During that debate, by the way, that everyone's still talking about, Kamala Harris cited Goldman Sachs, claiming that her plan would strengthen the economy. But the Goldman Sachs CEO was asked about this today. Watch.
A lot more has been made of this than should be. What it showed is the difference between the sets of policies that they put forward was about 0.2%. Okay, so economy grows. Okay, if you took these particular sets of policies they looked at, and by the way, we have no idea whether these policies, these things that are talked about will ultimately be implemented, this blew up into something that's bigger than what it was intended to be.
Well, it was an individual analyst. It wasn't a Goldman Sachs proclamation. I guess people do that in these types of settings, but that wasn't all that convincing as an endorsement of a policy that you said you can't really even dissect.
I'm worried about something else far more important. I think everybody in this election, regardless of who you want to vote for, should think about this. What is the #1 export of America? Is it a good or a service? Is it technology, oil and gas? No, none of those. The #1 export of America is the American dream. It has been that way for 200 years. There's a reason half the globe's wealth is invested here. And there's a reason people risk their lives to get into the United States. It's the American dream. Now, let's just talk about one policy I'm gravely concerned about. Taxing uncapitalized gains, which destroys capital formation. The reason people come here and why they invest here is to deploy their capital. Now, I got to know what that's about. Is that even a realistic idea? I can't believe that, because that would basically decimate the American dream. So if that's a reality, if that's a real policy, and I wish somebody would ask both candidates what their plans are on taxation, because a 28% corporate tax rate in the addition to state taxes would make America very uncompetitive in the G20, and we'd start losing companies like we did when the taxes were that high. They all went to Ireland, particularly the pharma companies. I ask everybody to remember that. Policy matters. So start asking your candidates about policy. It doesn't matter in terms of kumbaya or how you feel about this or that. What matters is policy, and we don't have any. So I'm really concerned. I need those two things I need to know.
Well, I think
those are very important.
Yeah, I think Trump's policies are pretty clear. I mean, it's basically the policies he did before, and he was going to cut taxes. So, but I would agree with you. Unrealized capital gains, taxing that we are over if that happens. Kevin, thank you. Wonderful to see you as always.